What is the FIRE movement and how do you calculate the number that you need to be fully retired? Welcome back to First Gen Money, a YouTube channel for all things money and lifestyle from a first gen millennial's perspective. If you're interested in getting right with your money, in working towards financial independence, in tackling taboo conversations with your family, then you're gonna wanna hit subscribe to this channel so you can get notified anytime I upload a new video. Pausing this video right here to remind you that I'm offering 90-minute money clarity sessions with me to work one-on-one to help you towards your money goals. This can be anything from getting your money plan started and created for you to really helping you understand how to get started with investing. So if you're interested, I'm gonna put all of that information in the description so you can work with me one-on-one. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about financial independence, retire early. What is FIRE? And how do we calculate that number we need to retire? I have a goal of becoming financially independent by age 35, which is 7 years from now. So let's get into what financial independence, retire early means. Traditionally, as a culture, we have decided that we need to work 40 plus years at a 9 to 5, commuting hours a day, and then at age 65, we can just turn off that button and say, okay, I'm retired. I get to enjoy my life now. I get to travel where I want to go. I get to do the hobbies that I've been putting aside for the last 40 plus years. I get to basically enjoy all the fruits of my labor from the last decades at 65. FIRE, financial independence, retire early, and that movement says, oh, no. I am not going to wait to live my life until I'm 65 and traditionally retired. That's just not gonna be me. I wanna enjoy my life today, right now, that I have the health to do so, because who knows what 65 is gonna look like if I will make it to 65, and says I am gonna take back these hours of my life now and still be okay financially. But in order to actually do this, you need to have one of two things. You need to either have built enough passive income that passive income will meet all of your annual expenses. Or two, you need to have enough saved and invested to cover your expenses. And after you've reached one or two or both of those, you can say that you don't need to work for income anymore, right? You could volunteer for the rest of your life and you'll be okay because you either have enough passive income or you have enough invested that you can just continue withdrawing from those accounts. Now, the term financial independence, retire early, the retire early part is something that gets debated a lot because people who are in the FIRE movement don't traditionally retire. And the goal isn't to just not do anything and not contribute to society no longer, but it's to be able to do the things that you enjoy. So the retire early part is just there's a big asterisk there. What that means is you're retiring from traditional 9 to 5 work. You're no longer gonna work for somebody else for a paycheck. So the goal in FIRE and my goal in FIRE is that FI portion, right? The financial independence. So you don't need to live for the Saturdays and Sundays of the weeks or wake up to an alarm clock bursting in your ears, although honestly, I feel like I'd still wake up with an alarm clock. And instead, you make your own schedule. You make your own plan for how your day's gonna go. You get to dictate where your hours are spent. If you're sold on this idea for not having to trade your time for dollars, and instead decide what you want to do with your life, how you want to live day by day, then how do you go about calculating what you need to actually retire? What do you need? What is that amount that you need saved, invested to be able to say, okay, I don't need to do this anymore if I don't want to. If you still want to, fine. But I don't need to do this anymore if I don't want to. Before we go into the actual how to calculate your FIRE number, let's talk about why we do it this way. Let's talk about why we use this 4% rule. What does that even mean? In the 1990s, there was a study called the Trinity Study that looked at the historical data of market returns and wanted to come up with a recommendation for withdrawal rate for retirees. It looked at a 30-year retirement period. If you're asking right now,
what is a withdrawal rate?
Basically, when you retire at 65, at whatever age, you either one, expect a family member to support your lifestyle moving forward and through retirement, or two, live off of the money that you had invested all those years prior. If you do expect to live off of the money that you invested, you need to understand what you can take out from that account every year without running out of money. And so that's what the Trinity Study was taking a look at. What is that percentage that we can recommend people to withdraw from their accounts that won't let them run out of money? Because when you retire, it's not like you're saying, I'm gonna clear house, I'm gonna withdraw from all of my accounts, put all of those investments, move them over from investment accounts and retirement accounts to my checking account. That doesn't happen. You don't just move everything into a checking account the year you retire. You slowly start withdrawing it year after year, year after year, because you still want a majority of your money working for you in the market. You don't want to put all that money in a checking account. So what the Trinity Study found was that they could recommend a 4% safe withdrawal rate. And that had the highest chance of you not running out of money. So that's why you hear a 4% rule. What's the 4% rule? It's because of the study, and the study determined that you had close to 100%, 99 point whatever percent of not running out of money. And so the 4% rule was born. If you are somebody who wants to be a little more conservative with their money, you can obviously decrease that withdrawal percentage through 3%, whatever feels comfortable for you, but that just means that you need to increase the amount of money that you have in your account when it comes time for you to retire. Finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, and how do you calculate this number? How do you figure out what you need to say, I'm retired, goodbye? Okay, let's do it first. The first thing you need to do, and the thing I've been talking about for months, for years, is you need to understand how much you are spending. What is your life costing you? So track your money. You need to know your monthly expenses. That's number one. Number two is take those monthly expenses, take how much your life costs you,
and multiply
that by 12. How much did your life cost you last year? Right now, for 2021, I'm on track to spend less than $20,000 a year. So that's my yearly expense. That's what it costs for me to live my life. Number three is to divide this number, your annual expenses, by that safe withdrawal percentage. I'm gonna choose 3%, you can choose 4%. You get your 20K and you divide it by 0.04 if you are choosing to go with the 4% withdrawal rate, or 0.03 if you choose to withdraw at a 3% withdrawal rate. Let me get my calculator and tell you what I came up with. Let's say I'm gonna live off 20K a year when I retire. I'm not gonna do that. That would be at 4% withdrawal rate, I would need 500K in my investments and savings to be able to say I'm financially independent and I could retire early if I wanted to. If I wanted to do the 3% withdrawal rate, I would need $666,000. So you need more if you're gonna withdraw less, which is fine, because you want to account for it, because you're more conservative and want to give it to the next generation, want to continue building this wealth, not just have it end with you, then that is an option for you. But of course, how we spend today isn't going to be how we spend 7 years from now, how we spend 10 years from now. So you'll want to have this number be your ideal number in retirement. And there's really no way to know how much things are going to cost then. So for instance, for me, I know right now I'm not paying rent. So $20K a year is low. It's not taking into account that I don't pay for housing. What I've determined my ideal FIRE number or annual expenses is based on $50,000 a year and not 20. I want to have $50K every year to spend in retirement. 3% is my withdrawal rate. So I need $1.6 million in this account to say I'm financially independent, can retire early. That's how you calculate your FIRE number. That's how you calculate that number that really helps you understand, okay, if this is what my goal is, how do I get to that goal? It looks like a big number, but honestly, compound interest is your best friend. And it's why the save and invest, the invest portion is important, because if you just save your money, even in a high yield savings account, you're not going to get returns enough to be able to become financially independent and retire in 7 years. It's just not going to happen. You can't save your way to $1 million. You have to invest your way into $1 million. So I'm going to share all of my investment videos here so you can understand how the market works, how to start making your money work for you. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Please like this video. Consider subscribing. If you've watched all this way, definitely subscribe. I'll continue to make videos on my journey to financial independence so you can see how I'm tackling some of these issues that might come up, especially for our community when, we have our parents who might be expecting us to be their retirement plan. How do you account for things like that? But anyway, I will see you all in my next video.